Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What is up, Thick fam? It is Monday, August 1st. What's poppin', Daddy? How you guys doing? Everything good? You guys doing all right out there? That's cool. Not much going on here, man. Coming fresh off the press. You got a Calabas fight campaign for UFC 277. We had Eric Griffin on, Chris D'Elia, and my boy Matt Mitrione. Poor Matt. Flight was delayed, got here late, and then was flying out the next morning at 6 a.m. So shout out to Matt Mitrione for getting it done and, you know, just being the overall good guy that he is. And I thought Eric Griffin being the new guy in the fight campaign, listen, when you do fight campaigns, they're 3 hours long. Even high-level comics, after about an hour and a half, 2 hours, they kind of die out. Eric Griffin was a fantastic addition. Eric, I thought, was great, man. Eric was really good. So if you haven't seen it, it's up right now. It's available on the Thick Boy YouTube only. We shoot it live, but then it uploads right after. I think you guys would dig it. It's a fun one. It's a really fun one. With the boys watching UFC 277. Me and Matt were the only ones drinking. We have two big fight campaigns in August. The contracts I just got. I should be able to announce it this week, and that will probably happen on Fire the Kid, or we'll do like a breaking announcement on my social media or Thick Boy social media. But we have some big announcements coming up in regards to the fight campaign and what's next for us in August. But hopefully we get that rolling soon for you guys so we can announce it, start promoting it. It's be fun, man. We got a lot of stuff in the works. I'll tell you what, everyone knows Sundays, Malibu Cars and Coffee with the kiddos. I wake up and there's nothing more that my 2-year-old son Boston loves more. Here's what's interesting, and I'm going to post about this and complain as well. They decided to shut it down. They shut down the Cars and Coffee. Wow. They shut it down, and they the business was crying because they said, you know, it was affecting their business, which doesn't make sense to me because it was always packed. And they're like, if they were just left it like they used to at 7 a.m., we'd be fine. But they pushed it back so that it used to be 10, used to be 11. If you think about it, you know, I'm like, I don't mind early. I'm up at 6 anyways with the kiddos. So early for me works. But when you think about people that have cars, I would assume genuinely, you know, older, right, dudes. So it makes sense to do it earlier because old guys have nothing to do, right? Especially if their kids, if it's a empty nest situation, you know, they're just whatever, driving their Ferraris or some of those bullshit Corvettes and they're driving to Malibu, right? But it became a younger thing, so younger audience, like, why are we waking up at 7? So you start pushing back 10, 11. I assume that affected business, even though it was crowded there. People were just there for the car, so they're buying coffee and like snacks, but they weren't buying like merchandise. So the businesses there all, I guess, voted or I don't know, had to protest some shit, but nobody told me. There's been rumblings of this for years. Like if you listen to Spike, who's a podcast, he's Jerry Seinfeld's best friend. They have like a car club together, Spike. They've talked about it before, but it's been a rumor for like years since I started going. It's like, oh, this thing could shut down any time. Nothing ever happened, so I didn't think anything of it. Show up Sunday, my 2-year-old was like, Dad, where are all the cars at? And it was packed, but it was like, Tiger was like, Dad, why is there so many fucking Priuses and Teslas? And like, yeesh. So I think they relocated. If you did relocate, let me know. That would be fantastic because my kids are brokenhearted. Hey, business owners, be cool, man. You ruined it for the families, you know? Be fucking cool. So we'll see. Hopefully they bring that back. But yeah, man. Heavy heart today. My grandma passed away this morning, 6 a.m. Passed away. She was 99 though, you know? So it's what old people do. You know, it's a bummer though, either way, when they go. It's more on my pops. My pops is really close to her, so I'm got to deal with that. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, let's get right into the fights. You had a big UFC 277 pay-per-view headlined by Amanda Nunes and Juliana Peña. Co-main event was Brand Moreno and Kai Kara France. And then the main card was good. Also, the undercard was, you know, solid. Definitely the all-star of the undercard was Drew Dober. If you remember last week, I highlighted this fight. Drew Dober versus Rafael Alves. Fantastic fight. These boys were best fight in the card. Let's be honest. As far as action-packed, and Rafael Alves is no punk, and Drew Dober, just a savage with it. Ties to Colorado, trains out of Colorado. But he might be I forget exactly where he's from, but he trains out of XFC out there. But Drew Dober with a, great fight. Best fight in the card, I thought. He's a savage. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Holler, via Omaha, Nebraska. I didn't want to say Nebraska because I was thinking of Anthony Smith, but yeah, he is out of Nebraska. But he was on the scene when I was fighting. He's always been like a local superstar in Denver. So he's finally getting his due now after that last fight, man. It was a great shot to the body. So he'd be my MVP of the prelims. But, for the main card, overall, it was pretty good. You got Magomed versus Anthony Smith. That one's a bummer. And Anthony Smith was supposed to be on Food Truck this week, but we postponed. We're going to do it in 2 weeks. But Anthony Smith compromised his ankle. Original reports was he broke his ankle, but apparently he didn't break it. What's he say here?
Avoids broken bone. We're not sure exactly what happened though yet.
What's weird about so no fracture, White said when addressing Smith's injury. So it was an unfortunate ending for Smith as he sought to earn a title shot with a win. Now it appears even without a broken leg that needs some time off healing. Yep. So, I thought he was doing pretty well in that first round. It was a tough fight for him either way. I did put money on him. I thought he was too big of a dog, and I thought he had experience. Magomed is no fucking punk. And for him, the title shots is not next. For him, the next title shot would be Yuri versus Glover. Yuri and Glover both want that fight. I would imagine the UFC does it. For Magomed, on the same card, they should have Magomed versus Jan Blachowicz. That's what I think would be next for him. And again, I think the jury's still out on Magomed. He's a fucking savage, but we don't know. The Anthony Smith one, I thought that was going to be a dogfight for him. Anthony Smith compromised his ankle. So what's weird, too, about the ankle is sometimes a break is better than whatever he did to it. Sometimes a break is easier to get surgery and get it done because your ankle has this weird memory. So when you spring it really bad, you're out way longer than if you just broke the fucking thing off. So hopefully Anthony Smith is all right, man. But I thought that was going to be a good test for Magomed. Didn't know where he was at. I still don't know. Listen, he's a savage. He's Makachev, but 205 pounds, So I would assume a guy like Jan is next for him. Title shot's not happening. Him versus Yuri. You could do it. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I would assume they give him a guy like Jan Blachowicz, which is a great test for him. Let's see how he does against Jan, and then he's going Sizzler, But again, I tell you guys this all the time. It's just a matter of time before every champion's from Dagestan or fucking Russia. That's all that's happening here. So just delaying the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? The exciting as fuck fight on flyweight, Alexandre Pantoja versus Alex Perez. I told you guys this last week. I was worried about Alex Perez because he's been inactive, and his last fight was 2 years ago to the champ, and he lost that fight. You're not active. They put you on a big main card of a pay-per-view. Then they give you Alexandre Pantoja, and he knows being on this in the co-main event is the title fight in your division. He wanted to show out, and my God, did he show out. He looked fucking fantastic. I would assume he gets the loser of Bram Moreno, Kai Kara France. Obviously, Bram Moreno's going to fight Figueiredo again for the rubber match, which I can't wait for. Also, his entrance when Bram Moreno won in the middle of his speech was awkward, whatever. But I would assume Pantoja gets Kai Kara France. That's the way this thing goes. Sergey Pavlovich versus Derek Lewis. Dude, poor Derek Lewis, right? Texas just isn't his cup of tea. There's too much pressure on him in there. I thought, tough fight for him. If it was outside of Texas, I would definitely put money on Derek Lewis. I didn't put money on Derek Lewis for this fight. Derek Lewis, although he's a knockout artist and, he's one of the best knockout artists of all time in the heavyweight division, or for the UFC for that matter, the jury's out on him. The verdict's out. He has these big looping punches. straight down the pipe and being technical beats him. That's what Sergey did. Now, a lot of people have issues with the stoppage. I don't know what Dana said in the post-fight press conference, but anytime in the heavyweight division, when a guy's getting hit, if he falls face first and doesn't put his hands out to stop him, I'm going to fuck how quick he gets back to his feet. As a ref, I think it was Dan Murgulata, you got to stop it. They're heavyweights. You have to stop it. So I don't have an issue with it. Derek was kind of getting beat up in that. Yeah, I know he popped up and he's upset, so the fans are upset. And Derek Lewis is way more famous and way more of a fan favorite. So I think that's where the outcry comes. But Sergey was going to win that fight, man. That was tough. Brandon Moreno, Kai Kara France, they fought before. Actually, I think the judges had it 1-1 going to that third round. I actually thought Kai Kara France found his timing in that third round. Brandon Moreno was losing that third round. And his face would show that. He looked pretty beat up in the post-fight press conference. But then, a body kick, there's nothing you can do. You can be the toughest guy in the world. You get hit to the body in the right spot, there's nothing you can do. Especially if it's good timing, especially if you're holding your breath or it just hits you in the perfect spot. I don't care how tough you are. There's no amount of toughness that can, stop a hard hit to the body, liver shot, stomach shot, solar plex shot from putting you down. It just doesn't. It doesn't. So Brandon Moreno does the goddamn thing. My Mexican household was crunk as shit. And then you're getting the trilogy, the rubber match against Figueiredo. And I think he beats Figueiredo. I root for Brandon Moreno. Dude, the nicest guy in the roster. Hands down, nice guy of all time. Co-main event, not much of a fight. They had it 50-45, 50-44, 50-43. I was more on the board of 50-43, even 50-42, to be honest. If you watch the first fight, which I went back and watched it last week before the pay-per-view, you have to ask yourself, is Juliana Peña, is it just her time? Which I kind of thought it was, and because that first fight, Amanda Nunes, she's been doing it for a while. She's the greatest to ever do it. She has money. She has a kid. She's married. She's going through the motions. We're on the street. She wasn't training that hard. She just seemed over it. And Juliana Peña was foaming at the mouth to become a world champion. And it showed in that first fight. So going to the second fight, it was all predicated, and there's a reason why she was a dog. It was all predicated on how bad does Amanda is just done? Is she checked out? If she's checked out, there can be a worse person to fight than Juliana Peña with her pressure, her tenacity. It's gonna be tough, man. But she fucked with the Brazilian bull horns and she got the bull. You know what I'm saying? So Amanda Nunes is ready to go. She's smiling. I thought this was gonna be a case of Amanda Nunes not want to be in there, trying to get her out in the first round. Juliana Peña weathering the first round and then slowly breaking her down, taking her down, eventually submitting her in the third or fourth round. My God, was I off. This wasn't competitive. The problem with, if you're a Juliana Peña fan, which I'm a huge fan, I'm actually a bigger fan of her than other women in the division, but the problem is if you're a Juliana Peña fan, I don't know what ground you have to stand on to ask for a rematch. Even though it's 1-1, if you remember George St. Pierre, Matt Serra, right? Matt Serra clipped him and then fished him off. Biggest upset of all time, by far. I know people think Juliana Peña and Nunes or Holly Holm, Ronda is. Matt Serra GSP to me is the biggest of all time for a number of reasons. But if you remember, they rematched and George beat the shit out of him. Made it very clear that he was just overlooking him. At that time, George was always training hard, but George was drinking wine. After that fight, he stopped drinking wine. He stopped going out, stopped hanging out at clubs, cut out all alcohol, cut out all social, things during the training camp and got serious and then beat the shit out of Matt Serra, So Matt Serra was a minus 1100. Let's take a little break from me just chatting about fisticuffs. Baltimore, I will see you this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm in Baltimore. Magoobies, come get some Baltimore. And then after that, in August, I'll be doing sets all around LA, Laugh Factory, Improv, Store. I'll be all over LA. But then Baltimore's this week, August 4th through the 6th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Baltimore. Then one night, one show only, 7:30 Chicago, downtown Chicago at the Den Theater. Come get some tickets at thickboy.com. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of freaking music and podcasts and audiobooks, and it's been great. I do it on my bike. And a lot of people make fun of me when I post pics or videos when I'm on bike, because you'll see I have cords attached to my earbuds, and they're like, oh, you can't afford the freaking wireless. No, I hear you. Look at my ears, dude. I get freaking tortellini for an air, so I have to be careful. They fall out. But then some Raycon wireless earbuds came to the crib, and I said, you know what? I'll give them a shot, and they fit my ear perfectly, and they sound fantastic. They are ridiculous. Raycon's everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever with optimized gel tips, all right, for the perfect in-ear fit. Look at these ears. If they fit these ears, they're going to fit your ears, all right? Raycon gives you 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life, which is ridiculous. Raycons are priced just right. You get quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. It's no wonder Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 50,000 five-star reviews. All right. They're freaking good, man. I love the noise isolation, especially when I'm on my bike. And also they fit. They fit your boy's ears. That's the biggest thing for me, man. Go to buyraycon.com/Schaub. That's BUYRAYCON.com/Schaub, SCHAUB today. And you get 15% off your Raycon order. They are the only earbuds that I use for my weird ears. They're fantastic. Noise cancellation. They're comfortable. I swear by them. Go to buyraycon.com/Schaub for 15% off. Not sure if you guys are familiar with this or not, but it's going around. All the kids are talking about it. It's smooth sack summer. That's right. If you haven't heard it, it is smooth sack summer. When you're playing in the summer sun, make sure you're escaped from all over the place, man. That's right. This summer, to keep your balls cool while still looking hot with Manscaped, the leader in below the belt grooming is making sure we all have a ball this summer by giving our pants partners everything they need to stay fresh all summer long. Dive headfirst into smooth sack summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SCHAUB20, man. Listen, out there, you guys got some bushes, you're shaving your junk and you nip your nuts. That thing bleeds all freaking day. You don't have to worry about that, man. Manscaped helps you with your confidence down there. Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to prepare that summer bod. Inside the package, you'll find a Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, a Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies, man. And listen, I've talked about it before, the Lawnmower 4.0, if you're cutting your bush with anything else, you're doing it wrong. It's waterproof, has a light on it. It's fantastic, man. We got you covered. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SCHAUB20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code SCHAUB20 at manscaped.com. It's smooth sack summer, boys. Get on board or get left behind. So, for Peña, that was just a complete beatdown. It wasn't, a competitive fight. So to me, it's just, is there any fan out there who wants to see the trilogy match? Do you, Jen, after seeing that? Like, if she won like 2 rounds, I could see it. Man, besides that first round, you could do 10-8 every single. I mean, it was a really fucking outclassed, outshined in every aspect. Takedowns, grappling, striking. It wasn't competitive in any facet. 10-8 across the board, except for that first round.
Yeah.
It's a real ass whooping, So it's tough for Juliana Peña to go to the UFC, go, all right, well, it's 1-1. The UFC's like, it is. No, we know. We're good, though. What? No, we're good. Wasn't competitive. So she might have to get one more and then fight the champ. I don't know how much Amanda Nunes wants to fight anymore, Seeing that first fight against Juliana Peña, obviously that's there. And then the other thing that was interesting is, I can't hear the broadcast because so many reasons during fight campaign, but I figured, and I told the team, hey, let me know if Amanda Nunes says, all right, we're going to run this back. But she wasn't like foaming at her Brazilian mouth to run it back. She was like, I'm going to go home, take a break. We'll see. Because again, I think for her and her legacy, it doesn't do much to do it a third time. This is so dominant. Worst case scenario for Juliana Peña. Worst case scenario. Not competitive. If you're her team, you're going back to the drawing board today and going, what do we got to work on? Everything? How do you beat her? I don't know. And a case of Amanda Nunes going southpaw and her check hook, her takedowns, her timings, she looked phenomenal. She vindicated herself as the greatest female fighter of all time. for Amanda Nunes, there's a lot of narrative out there. I'd love to see Shevchenko. Yeah, they fought twice, right?
Yeah.
Amanda Nunes beat her twice, right? So that's not going to work. Now, technically, is Shevchenko a better overall, is she more skilled? There's debate there, but going off Shevchenko's last fight, a lot of people thought she lost that fight. So is it also, if the UFC's going to do this mega fight, I'd say you do it at 130 pounds, right? Not 125, not 135. You do it at 130 for the BMF, bad motherfucker belt.
Still BBF. Yeah.
You do that. At a catch weight at 130 for both of them. They fought before, so, if the UFC does want to do that super fight between Shevchenko and Nunes, you got to do it soon. Shevchenko's not getting any younger. Amanda Nunes also isn't getting younger. So if there's one fight left, that'd be the fight. I don't think it's a rubber match with Juliana Peña. I just don't. And that gash on her head, Jesus Christ. That was bad, huh? I heard there was some of her skin like blood on the fucking cage, like inside the octagon. Look at that gash, dude.
It looks pretty bad. But
Has to be from an elbow.
Yeah. Well, Dana White said it was a chunk missing out of her head. But she said this.
Tougher than a $2 steak. Well, I'll tell you what, that girl
So
is tough. Here's the thing. If I'm here on Monday morning going, man, that girl is tough, it did not go well. If the biggest compliment is that girl's tough, that means you got beat up.
Yeah.
But you're just so goddamn tough.
You survived.
Again, I said this on Companion. I think she gets more fans now, showing how tough she is.
Yeah.
After being champ, you see her daughter behind her at weigh-ins. Everyone now, more people are familiar with Juliana Peña, and you see that it wasn't her night. She got beat up, but people like toughness. People can relate to toughness. I think she earns more fans now. I really do.
Sure.
So she puts tougher than $2 steak. Agree. Although good luck finding a $2 steak these days. Inflation, girl, even skirt steak is not $2. Tougher than $2 steak. Thanks to love everyone. Just a cat scratch that required a few stitches. No chunk missing. No surgery necessary. Love you all. We're 1-1. People's champ trilogy. Yep. Best comment of the day from my boy Mike V.
That's Chiesa.
Yeah, what'd he say?
I'm guessing the $2 steak thing.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Tougher than $2 steak. Yeah, it's never good when you walk out fight. Dude, you're fucking tough though. Hey, wait, what? Look at her daughter.
I know, that was so cute.
So cute. I saw breathing heart. Yeah,
She looks like she was serious too. Like she was trying to defend her mom.
Yeah, so fucking cute, man. So cute. Yeah, you root for Juliana, man. It's tough. But here's the thing, too. If you're a Juliana fan, don't be sad. Amanda doesn't have a lot of fights left. Amanda leaves. Who's going to beat Peña? Peña's your champ. She'll be champ again. Guarantee it. Guarantee it she's your champ again. Does she beat Amanda Nunes? Absolutely not. But Amanda Nunes has 1 or 2 fights left. And it's probably not going to be Juliana Peña. It's going to be fucking Shevchenko. And then if I'm the UFC, I protect Juliana Peña. I don't want to see her get destroyed again because she's going to be your champ. So you do Amanda Nunes, Shevchenko in the BMF fight at 130. Catch Amanda sails off in the sunset with all her money and her wife and her kid. And then the division's open again. Who's going to beat Peña? Not many. She'll be champ. It just sucks to swallow that pill, Sucks. What do you got, Chin?
Back to Nunes. This is what she said about the fight.
I know Juliana's tough. I know I was ready for that. I could have finished her, but I wanted to go 5 rounds with her tonight to prove I was better than her. I'm better than her, and I proved it tonight.
What do you think?
Agree. Yeah, agree. She's your best female fighter of all time. Love to hear a debate. Where was I at? Maybe I was in Fort Wayne. This guy came out and goes, man, you always say Amanda Nunes is the best of all time. He goes, the argument is Cyborg. I'm like, well, she beat Cyborg, sir. And he's like, can we talk about this? I'm like, take all the time you want. It's meet and greet. I'm like, I'm here all night, buddy. And he's like, remember though, and this is a good point. He goes, remember, Amanda Nunes beat Cyborg when she wasn't in her prime. He got a weathered Cyborg. It wasn't like it was prime. He was like, take prime Cyborg, prime Amanda Nunes, who wins? I'm like, not bad argument.
Prime Cyborg was a killer for
Fantastic.
sure.
Yeah. I go based off now. That's why goats and best of all time. It's tough. It's all debatable. You take him in the prime, it's tough, you know?
Like Chuck and Tito.
Chuck Tito
Always
also,
messed him up
when it
with
comes
that.
to heavyweight, like people say Stipe or, you know, Verdum. I think there's a big argument for Verdum or, you know, but in the prime, like in the peak of their height of their career, I've never seen a better heavyweight than Cain Velasquez. Hands down. I don't think anybody beats him. Fedor in his prime, Crow Cop in his prime, Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem, Stipe, JDS. Nobody beats Cain. Best I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a weird argument.
It's
Hard to argue.
it's all hearsay. It's almost a waste of time. What else you got, dude?
All right. This is the probably biggest news over the weekend was Jake Paul, Hasim Rahman Jr. fight being canceled because of weight deception.
So too many chains, right, Jake? But yeah. So I think here this is so weird. So
a long one.
Hasim Rahman Jr. So I'll read it and then I'll give you the breakdown. So on July 5th, Hasim Rahman Jr. So just so you guys know, Rahman fights at heavyweight. So when Jake was sparring him, which was years ago, you know, he was big and they had issues during the sparring. And then Jake's team didn't want him to take this fight because he's such a bigger fighter. So Jake goes, I got this. We'll have him cut weight and then take the fight. So at least weight won't be a huge issue. So we'll take that out of the equation. So he has to make the weight, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what Hasim Rahman Jr. agreed to. So even though he might be more skilled, more experienced, him being a heavyweight isn't great for Jake. But what he did do is go, okay, that's your advantage. We're going to take that away. You can't come in over a certain amount of weight the night of the fight. You can't just blow up to 240 and fucking knock me out. That was his advantage. They agreed to it. I'll get it. Here's the article. Hasim Rahman Jr. signed a bout agreement to fight Jake Paul on August 6th, Madison Square Garden, at a maximum weight of 200 pounds, which is way below even cruiserweight. It's below cruiser and it's below heavyweight, right? At the time of signing, Rahman provided evidence of his weight to give comfort to most valuable promotions, which is Jake Paul's promotions, most valuable promotions, and the New York State Athletic Commission, that he would not be losing more than 10% of his weight over the 4 weeks leading up to the fight since weighted at 216 pounds on July 7th. Rahman and his camp have offered assurance publicly and privately that he was on track to make weight at the weigh-in on August 5th, which would be this Friday. I will be in Baltimore. Going as far as to provide a letter signed by Recognizing Nutrition that his weight cut was progressing without issue per New York State Athletic Commission, required weekly weight checks. In the last 48 hours, it has become clear that these assurances were not made in good faith. On Friday, this past Friday, Rahman submitted a weight check to the New York State Athletic Commission that demonstrated he had lost less than 1 pound since originally signing to take the fight 24 days prior. That prompted the commission to declare that it would not sanction the fight at less than 205 pounds. Still, Jake Paul was prepared to move forward with the fight at the new weight and the new contract, ballsy. And the new contract was sent to Rahman's promoter, reflecting 205 pounds limit, imposing strict penalties should he fail to make even 205 pounds. Upon receiving his new contract Saturday morning, Rahman's camp indicated for the very first time that he planned to weigh 215 pounds, right? Which, 25-pound weight advantage probably, which is a ton. 215 pounds at the official weigh and would not agree to weigh in at 205 pounds, informing MVP Promotions that they're pulling out of the fight unless the fight was agreed to 215 pounds. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Jake, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it either. And also for Rahman, god damn, this was your shot, man.
I know.
This was your one shot, and you can't cut weight. You don't have the discipline to cut weight. Come on, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, shame.
So that's a bummer. Now, someone did allude to the fact, they go, do you think that this is better for Jake? Because we know Nate is for sure going to be out of his contract. Mm-hmm. Does this make it so Jake can just roll right in and fight Nate? Because let's say Jake were to lose his fight, possibility. Does this just build the Nate fight even more?
I mean, I see it.
And does it build the Nate fight? What happens in a weird world where Nate's an underdog against Khamzat? What if Nate gets absolutely annihilated? Yeah. Does that affect the pay-per-view buy of Jake? And also, if he gets absolutely annihilated, and then 3 months later they announce Nate versus Jake, what's that? Does it do anything for Jake at this point? Even though Nate's a legend.
Yeah, if he gets annihilated, that'll be tough. But I think no matter what, if he gets annihilated, it still does way better than this card.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Oh yeah, this I've never heard of this guy till he popped on the scene. What's he say here?
This is excuse. It's about 2 minutes, but it's good.
Let me go ahead and kill all this internet cap Jake Paul got going on for y'all. Look, I'm a Bridgerweight. I campaign at Bridgerweight, or otherwise known as heavyweight outside of the WBC. Now look, I signed a contract to make 200 pounds within the 3 or 3.5 weeks that I had to do it, but I couldn't do it. My body simply would not let me do it.
Okay.
Would not let me get down to 200 pounds. But where in boxing do y'all see them canceling fights a whole week in advance? I didn't even get my last week to get down as low as I could.
Well, you didn't even agree to 205.
It's penalties involved. Keep the purse. Keep the purse. I fight you for the $5,000 minimum. That's how much it means to me, and that's how much faith I have in knocking him out. I would have beat this man with one hand, just like I did in the gym. But let him tell it. He already beat my ass in the gym when I was 230. So if you beat me up while I was 230, what's the problem in fighting me while I'm 215? What's the problem fighting me at 210? It's clearly them not wanting to fight. It's not me pulling out the fight. It's them not wanting to fight. I never said that I didn't want this fight. And
well, no, you didn't want it when you didn't make the weight.
Yeah.
You obviously don't want the fight. You didn't make the weight. Also, to defend Jake here, you also agreed to a certain weight limit because that's your biggest advantage. He has no business fighting heavyweights, but he figured he'd take a shot against you, and then you don't have the discipline or the professionalism to make the weight. So then Jake's team, who's professional, going, this is already a big risk for us. You're a no-name, tough fight, and you're still not going to make weight? Mm-hmm. No, we're out, dude. And then I would be willing to bet Jake's team's smart. They're tracking how this is going. I would imagine it doesn't sell well.
Yeah, that's what. So Dana White actually said.
And then also back to Nate and Jake. Dana said when he brought Jake up to Nate was like, "Man, that's foolery. I'm not about that. It's a goofy. I'm not with that goofy stuff."
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's just Dana trying to make sure that fight doesn't do well or try to squash it. But also, Dana said the fight that makes most sense for Nate is Jake. Previously, obviously he has his issues with Jake. Now he's saying that Nate doesn't want to take any of that goofy stuff. But then Nate has posted several times about Jake.
Yeah.
So I'm not buying it.
I don't know who's. I mean, I believe for sure Jake and Nate want to fight without a doubt.
Who's this talking? Dana?
It's Dana White talking about.
But I will say this: just because you were accountant here doesn't mean you know what the fuck goes on here. Doesn't mean you can run a fight promotion company. I think that Jake Paul probably needs to get some different people around him. If he's going to stay in the sport, he needs to be with guys that really know how to put on fights. Yeah, fair, because the guy who runs his stuff, Nikiza, was UFC's former chief financial officer. Mm-hmm. Agree. Just because you run the money doesn't mean you know how to promote a fight. But they're doing something right.
Yeah. But yeah, he blamed ticket sales. So right here.
Yeah, and then Nate goes on, UFC Roost now, give me the fight with anyone in July or August. I have bigger shit to do, and post a video of Jake.
That was in June, too.
Yeah, so that can't be too goofy. He goes, I think they sold under $1 million in tickets. It costs $500,000 to turn the fucking lights on at Madison Square Garden. That's what I think, not to mention a hotel's room in New York, transportation, everything else is very expensive. I agree. I think this, I do think Jake would have beat him, but I also think that his team was like, dude, this is a short notice fight. No one knows who this guy is. He's not making the weight. We're looking at ticket sales. People aren't really excited about this fight. This doesn't do much for your career. Might do, as far as career-wise, do significantly as far as validation, but is it worth it? Pros, cons? There were more cons than pros. Like, let's just pull the plug. That's what I think happened.
For sure.
Of course, Dylan Dennis was like, Dylan Dennis had a hot take on it.
What did Dylan say?
If you go to his Twitter, he said something like he heard, obviously, him and Jake have major issues, so take it with a grain of salt, but... So Jake tweeted, first Tommy fumbled, now Hasim Rahman crumbled. These boxers are the most difficult people to work with and continually lack professionalism and confidence to fight me. I apologize to all the other fighters on the card, our partners, our team, and fans. All right. And then Dylan put, I heard from inside the camp of Jake Paul that his manager, inside the camp, His manager and team tried to pay Hasim Rahman to take a dive, but they rejected it. So then Jake Paul's team made up an excuse to pull out of the fight. Nah, I don't think so. That's just Dylan being Dylan.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some of the internet's running with that.
Dylan says some crazy stuff, so.
Yeah. But the internet's like, yeah, Dylan's right.
So this Dana White saying that the Chimaev's overwhelming favorite thing is not necessarily true. He brought up Ronda Rousey as an example too.
So he put, so was Amanda Nunes, so was Ronda Rousey. I can go on for days. This is a sport where nobody's that big of a favorite. Anybody can win at any given time. One thing that you saw in the Gilbert Burns fight, let's not forget about Khamzat. As bad as he is, explosive, all things that he's done, he doesn't have the experience all these other people have. Dana White continued, Nate Diaz is durable. He's been in there with everybody. It's his last fight going out. Nobody's that big of an underdog. Not in the UFC. Nate Diaz has that gangster mentality. Khamzat has that gangster mentality. People love that shit. Yeah, I think people love this fight. I think, I think we all initially were like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. But I think as well, Dana's playing, he's trying to gain some traction because he got a lot of shit for this fight and the Suga Sean fight. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you compared Amanda and Ronda Rousey,
it was minus 140 plus one. I mean, good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just didn't know where Ronda's head was at the time.
All right, this is pretty cool. Kamaru Usman is going to be guest starring in the new Wakanda Forever Black Panther movie.
It's big time.
Yeah, sequel.
Yeah, it's big time. I mean, I'm not into Marvel movies really, but I know Black Panther's fucking massive, and that's big for Kamaru Usman, man.
That's pretty dope.
I thought he just doesn't wear undershirts.
I mean, he's got the body for it. So.
I would do it all day.
Yeah. This is Curtis Blades talking about John Jones, because John Jones was kind of going after him.
Yeah.
But Curtis only said something like, he's a great fighter, just doesn't have that real, one
power.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
One punch knockout power.
And then, John started going out on social media, and then Curtis said, I don't understand why he took such offense to what I said, but I'm over it. I don't feel like I said anything super disrespectful or super aggressive. Maybe I had a few too many drinks that night. I don't know.
Then he goes on to say this.
Honestly, I wouldn't be angry with the interim thing if they do John Jones versus Stipe. At least it gives me a goal, like a trajectory. Like, okay, I beat the winner of Tuivasa Gane. I get the winner of Stipe Jones. At least I have an interim belt, and that means I get the guy who has the real belt. That'll be something. I can live with that.
That sounds about right too, right?
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. And the World MMA Awards 2022 nominees came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to take a look at this list.
Fighter of the Year, Volkanovski, Eblin, Oliveira, Makhachev, Francis, probably Volkanovski. Female Fighter of the Year.
That's interesting, huh?
Julia Peña, Chris Cyborg, Kyla Harrison, Shevchenko, Pennington. God, you probably give it to Peña, right, for winning the belt.
Yeah,
Big ups, one of the biggest upsets. Breakthrough Fighter of the Year, Tuivasa, Gamrot, Pimlet, McCann, Johnny Eblin. Probably give it to Patty, yeah?
Yeah.
International Fighter of the Year, probably Khamzat. Or, Volkanovski.
Volkanovski too, yeah.
Fight of the Year, I told you how I feel about Yuri versus Glover. I know it was a great fight, but they both had off nights. Gaethje Chandler's a hell of a fight. Volkanovski, Brian Ortega, hell of a fight. Khamzat, Gilbert Burns, Holloway, Yair Rodriguez. I like Gaethje Chandler.
Yeah, that was pretty damn dope.
Knockout of the Year, Chandler, Ferguson all day. Submission, Jessica Andrade and arm triangle choke was pretty filthy. Inverted triangle was always filthy. I give it to Stevie Ray.
Yeah, that was unique. This is something that was weird too. Comeback of the Year. Some are just, this is career, other are fights. You know what I'm saying?
I give Sergio Pettis all fucking day. That was insane, dude. Upset of the Year, that's easy.
Yep, that's for sure.
Promotion, okay.
Leading man,
referee.
It's going to be Dana White no matter what.
Yeah.
Referee, I don't know. But also, so there's analysts and then personality. Our girl, Laura Cinco.
Yeah.
She's nominated.
Yeah, I hope she wins it. I think Rogan wins that every year, though.
That's going to be super tough.
There's a few of those where it's going to be tough to win.
Yeah. This is shitty news. Antonio Silva, Bigfoot, scheduled for another fight against the kickboxer that's 102-9.
I don't even know how they sanction it.
It has to be in, I think, Azerbaijan, because they won't sanction it here.
It's a bummer, man.
And this is his older manager. This is what he says.
Says you cannot defend a man from his own self. I did my very best. The plan was for him to stop fighting 8 KOs ago. He made the money. I let go at that point. Could not be part of this, but he always goes in with a big heart. Never, his losses. Jesus Christ, he needs to stop.
Yeah, and then this right here.
And still missing today's boxing KO. And still missing today's. Cruz is saying, and they're not even including his last boxing KO. Someone has to have that conversation with the man. This guy goes, you cannot defend a man. Yep. I just told you guys. Yeah, you hate to see it. Is it a money thing? It can't be obviously championship inspirations are over. He has kids, man. It's tough. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. You kind of explained this about Sean O'Malley, but he has no one that manages him. So he doesn't want any middleman. He wants to handle everything himself, which you kind of explained already. Say
UFC gets a sponsorship deal and whoever handles that UFC, they're like, the UFC wants Suga Sean. I'm going to his management, and their management takes 20%, 50%, whatever. Just tell me about the deal. Not to do anything, just to say, hey, the UFC called, you want this deal? Sure. It's the same thing with the fight money, too. You want 50% of my money because you did what? No, that ain't happening. Oh, you want some of the bonus, too? That ain't happening. He says, I personally enjoyed doing all the business side of things. Good for him. There are some fighters who are probably like, fuck that. I don't even want to look at that stuff. You take care of it, and I'll give you a percentage. There's people like that. Cool. I like being part of my deal. I like to be directly in communication with all the brand deals, the UFC specifically. Everyone. I don't want any miscommunications. That always seems to happen when there's an extra voice in the middle. It's just not necessary, at least for me. Yeah, as long as it works for him.
He's killing it.
He's making bank. I think it could get dicey when he say he beats Peter Yan, and let's say he were to beat the winner of Aljo and TJ. When you're champ, that could get a little dicey, because if you have big man, listen, I'm all about not going with big management, but if you have big management, they can at least go, hey, we have this current champ, he's getting this, you deserve this, because then you don't know your value, But I'm sure you could find out. Sugar's a smart dude,
Yeah. When you were doing it with was Lex the guy that handled everything?
Yeah.
How much of what you said actually went into the deals, or did you just let him handle
That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, when I was fighting, I cared about controlling my merch, and then I always had self-worth as far as like when they went to negotiate deals. I'm like, too low. I'd rather just not do it. I'm not going to sell myself for that. But yeah, it's not like they would call Lex like, all right, here's Brendan wants Crow Cop or whatever. It's not like UFC like, oh, okay, let's work on it. The UFC just call it, hey, you're fighting this guy. It's not like my manager would like negotiate that. And you sign the deal, it's tough. But also, a lot of guys don't have a business background, so it's like to negotiate your contract, it's fucking tough. You don't know, like, you ask what you think's fair, but you should probably ask for more because they're gonna not take the first offer. Like, there's etiquette there, So a lot of guys, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Sugar's a rare breed, man.
All right, a quick fight announcement: Edson Barboza versus this up and coming badass Ilya Topuria.
Tough for Barboza.
So Barboza. This is Ilya's record. He's killing it.
Yeah, not doing Barboza any favors.
And that's Barboza
here.
Yeah.
Yes, very tough fight for him.
All right.
Assume he will be the underdog. He's won 3 out of his last 30.
All right, so that Iranian Hulk guy on Instagram that photoshops his body all the time.
I know who he is.
Okay. He actually got into a boxing fight and got destroyed.
Because remember, he backed out of one because he was saying mental health.
Yeah. And he got pushed so far back.
Is the easiest. Oh, wow.
And here we go. They're fighting with shirts on. These boys are big.
Straight left hand got through already.
Oh my God.
Kazakh Titan looks good.
He's really bad. Oh, he act like that hurt?
Oh my days.
Oh, this guy is just awful at fighting.
He's turning away.
He's turning away.
Yeah, if he turns away one more time, the fight's going to be stopped. The Kazakh Titan just
he's terrible. Dude, you know what that other guy would have done to him? That's why he was like, I'm out. Yeah. Remember we got pushed?
Yeah.
And his mom was like,
they want to disown him?
Do this? Yeah. Then my family's going to disown me. Well, what do they think of this?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he's bad.
Yep.
Iranian Hulk my ass.
Do you remember Vanessa Demopoulos. She's the one that jumped on Joe Rogan. She used to be a stripper.
Oh, yeah.
So she did this little wrestling thing, sumo wrestling thing. And I'll just show you. I'll play it for you.
This is like actual sumo?
Yeah. So watch.
Oh, sick.
Did he just toss her like that? But she played along, so that was
Well,
cool.
that boy is thick.
Yeah, sumo, dude. And this is just an update from Brian T. City.
Chin up, chest up. I got this, and thank you all for the mad love. Although I can reply to all of the messages, I read them. Keep them going. My final doctor meeting's tomorrow. You guys know soon. All right. Hope he's okay, man. Another surgery would be a fucking tough, man.
Yeah, so you'll know soon.
So got those eyes, man.
This is an ex-UFC fighter that fought in Ryzen, and he just knocked his opponent out and also did a soccer kick. I'll show you the replay here.
Oh, wow.
Which is still
Not
loud,
too
though.
bad.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be way more
Yeah.
vicious, but it wasn't that.
A bad
crazy.
knockout.
This is disgusting. So this Georgie sent this over. I'll just play it for you.
It's kind of like he's going for a boogie choke on the up.
Oh,
It's kind of like he's going for a boogie
my
choke.
God.
And then the head is clear. He's out looking for the knee right now.
He's like my arm, dude.
Snapped his
Jesus
forearm. Yeah.
Christ.
What do you know the buggy choke? Was he doing it correctly?
I don't know what that was. It makes me feel sick.
Yeah, it does. This as well.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. They're going to let it go.
And they are going to let
I love it. I love it. Look at that. Oh, my God.
So that was on UFC Fight Pass on Uriah Faber's league,
He's crazy.
A1 Combat 4. But then
You want to
the
be a fighter, huh?
The referee did not allow him to fight, so
definitely.
that was it.
What are we doing? Kids making $800.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it, dude. So
That's it.
that's it.
Quick one today, doggy. You got a UFC fight night this Saturday. The main event, co-main event are fantastic. The rest of it, you got the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight tournament finale on there. Ultimate Fighter 30 women's flyweight tournament. I don't know who the fuck's watching Ultimate Fighter these days, but God bless those guys. It's low when they're not even the co and main event. Like even when I was fighting, when I was the Ultimate Fighter, we at least the main event. The co-main event was John Jones, Matt Hamill.
Damn.
That's how far that's dropped. But let me see the card, Chin.
Yeah.
Go back to the card for me. So you got Thiago Santos, Jamal Hill. Man, Jamal Hill is on a freaking banshee path. Jamal Hill is a savage. I think Jamal Hill takes this one. Santos started off hot. He's fallen some tough times. We'll see where he's at mentally, but I'll take Jamal Hill, man, via knockout. He's a savage. I think Santos' technique is better, but Jamal Hill just has it. He believes in himself more. I'll take that. Vicente Luque, Neal, our boy from Texas Roadhouse. Shout out to Texas Roadhouse. I love the bread there.
The bread at the steakhouse.
Yeah, they had good bread. Steak's all right. But no, I actually love their food. I don't know if they're out in California, but this is kind of a fork in the road for both gentlemen. Luque, who's coming off the loss to Muhammad, and then Neal, who beat Muhammad. Fork in the road for both of them to stay in the queue at welterweight. And then you got the main events of the kind of the finale of the Ultimate Fighter, but decent card.
Yeah, main and co-main for sure. And that's all. Real quick, Anthony Pettis is going to do a rematch with Stevie Ray. That's this Friday.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, PFL.
Good for him. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he figures it out at PFL, man. It's been a tough road for him there.
It's been, he won like one, I think.
It's been a tough road. Speaking of tough road, I leave at 6 a.m. on Thursday to Baltimore. Nice. Baltimore this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Never been to Baltimore. Come get some Baltimore this freaking Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Club is Magoobies out there. I've never been. Name of the club's interesting. It's Magoobies in Baltimore, Maryland this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then one night, one show only at a theater in Chicago, downtown Chicago, Den Theater, Chicago, August 26th. That's coming up, man. So August 26th is the Den Theater in Chicago, downtown. The next day on 27th is the Tough Mudder in Chicago, right outside Chicago. Sign up for the Thick Mudder at 10 a.m. It's me versus the Buttery Bros. Use the promo code Team Brendan. You get 10% off the entire sign-up fee there. So it's limited capacity. So if you're going to wait, don't wait. The thing's going to sell out. They're not going to have any more. They just put more tickets for sale because they're selling so fast. So I'm telling you, man, there's going to be no more. So if you want to run with the Thick Boy Squad, sign up for the Thick Mutter August 27th. Go to toughmutter.com. That's in Chicago. That's a 10 a.m. heat. You'll see it on there, Thick Mutter. All right. So Chicago's 26th, though, at the Den Theater. Appleton, Wisconsin. Never been there. September 8th through the 10th. Ontario Improv, California, September 15th to 17th. Great club. And then another first time, I used to do the Wilbur, mixing up this time. Boston, Laugh Boston, not doing the Wilbur. Your boy's doing a club. Laugh Boston is September 29th through the October 1st in Boston, one of my favorite cities. My son's named after Boston, so one of my all-time favorite cities. That's September 29th through the 1st. Laugh Boston. But Baltimore, you are up this week, baby. Come get some this Thursday through Saturday. Magoobies, Baltimore, Maryland, August 4th through the 6th. Tickets at fatkz.com. Thick Boy merch dropped. You get the white tees you always see me wearing, tank tops. We got the new blue tie-dye as well, tie-dye shorts, and the new trucker hats. So get you some at thickboy.com. Tie-dye donut collection. We got the trucker hat, the classic hat, and the white tees and tanks. So get you some. All right, kids, be nice to each other. Like, subscribe. Thank you for following. We'll have some big news for you guys coming up in regards to fight campaigns in August. It's going to be a fun one. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and that's it. Be safe.